All right, what is up, guys? I think it's time for us to take a quick moment and actually appreciate the shittiness of the worst Call of Duty zombies ever made. If you didn't already know, I am a Call of Duty veteran. People can say, "Oh, you're so young that I haven't been able to be alive enough to play Call of Duty for 10 plus years," but I can honestly tell you I've been playing Call of Duty since uh, World at War, I believe. The first Call of Duty I actually played was Call of Duty 3, but we're not going to get into that. When I first played zombies on World at War, I was mesmerized. It was one of the best experiences ever. I think we can all agree that zombies now is not what it used to be back then. That being said, that is not a good enough excuse to me to just allow this shitty, awful, poor man's watered down version of Call of Duty Zombies. I mean, just look at some of the stuff. I'm going to first touch bases with the horrible and awfully designed zombies. If you look at them right now, you notice that they focus on one target constantly and only switch to others when they're nearby. You're going to tell me, "Oh my gosh, man, why are you so salty? They've been doing that for years." But look at how slow and sluggish they are when doing this. In any other zombies game, go ahead and play Kino on Black Ops 1, and you'll notice how quickly they switch from person to person. Especially on round fucking 10 or some shit. If you look at this, there's literally them turning around, noticing you, and walking slowly. If you run far enough from them, they'll just resume their rampage at the exact same person. Or, God forbid, they'll just keep following you, and you have to stand there and put thousands upon thousands of rounds into that one walker. That's an over-exaggeration, of course, but if you look at it, I call them walkers. I grew up watching The Walking Dead. But if you put over 2 magazines inside one zombie, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do that. Throwing a grenade does nothing. You remember how you would throw a grenade on extremely high rounds on any other zombies and their legs or arms would blow off so you can actually get breathing room? Nope. Not in this zombies. In this zombies, you can get hit with the grenade, which is actually annoying as shit, first of all, because it's so freaking loud. I don't even feel like dealing with that. You get hit with the grenade, this rain will go off, right? But the fact that the amount of damage that a grenade does to you is barely even the exact same amount of damage that a zombie gets done is ridiculous. And speaking of which, the zombies in general don't do a lot of damage. I mean, there's literally no point to having the Juggernaut if they barely do any damage as it is. And while we're on the Juggernaut, let's not even miss the other perks. They're not even useful at all. I don't need stamina at all if I can already outrun half of the zombies going double time march or some crap like that. I don't need any of these perks. The only perk that I feel is remotely useful is Electric Cherry, and that's because, as you can see there, it stuns zombies while you're reloading. Everything else, abysmal garbage. Just unuseful. I don't understand why I need any of this. It's not useful. Juggernaut has even been toned down. Juggernaut is useless. It gives you a couple extra hits, but these things barely hit hard enough anyways, so why on earth would I want to get Juggernaut in the first place? I can run this game for hours without Juggernaut because of another thing. Fucking revive tokens. Revive tokens? Are you serious? We can just pick ourselves up with a revive token? So why is there even quick revive? If we can just die and get back faster and more efficiently with all of our gear. I mean, if I have to choose between dying and losing all of my stuff and dying and coming back with all of it by using a revive token, which are fairly abundant for some strange apparent reason, I would rather revive myself and get all my gear back. It's just like that. Yeah, huge middle finger to the fucking quick revive. Huge middle finger. I mean, seriously. Come on. And now that we finished talking about that, let's talk about the only thing that can actually take you down. Brutus and fucking dogs. I very seldom, if ever, get taken down by regular old zombies. It's always Brutus and fucking dogs. If it's not the boss tentacles, which we'll get into in about a second, it's Brutus and his fucking dogs. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at that. One, if it's not bad enough that every single fucking zombie, dog, and creature in the game is a bullet sponge, the game literally has the audacity to send 69 Brutuses after you and expect you to actually deal with that properly. I would not have a problem with this if it wasn't for the combination of the hounds with 6 Brutuses. It gets on my nerves. It's ridiculous. God forbid that you ever have to deal with Avogadro or whatever, however you pronounce his name. He was a bad character in Transit. He's still a bad character now. Why they brought him back, I don't know. But they spawned several of them, and it's ridiculous. You'll have to deal with 2 Avogadros, which is what I've typically had to deal with, and a couple of Brutuses. I've actually had rounds where I don't know if this is a glitch or not, or if it's in the design. I've had to deal with Avogadro and Brutus at the exact same time. And when they've taken me down, I spawn in the house, and they're right there waiting for me in the house. It's bullshit. They're just up in there like, oh yeah, but we're gonna have fun with you. You know? It's just like that. It's ridiculous. I don't feel like I should have to deal with it. It's almost like they spit in your face. And don't sit up there and tell me, get good, because you know how easy it was to dispatch the dogs in every other zombies game. Why are the dogs in here bullet sponges? And why is it so hard to evade them as opposed to any other zombies? I'm going to backtrack a bit to talk about how horrible the weapons are. This is the first wall weapon you get. One of the first wall weapons you get. There's a revolver in the corner, and there's this fucking AK-47U. AK-74U, I think. But if you look at this fucking weapon, it barely does any damage whatsoever to these things. At the first few rounds, it does a lot of damage. And then, like, 2 rounds later, your weapons go weak. I mean, it's one thing for the devs to make bad weapons and very weak weapons, but it's another thing for them to actually literally spit and piss on us and make some of the best weapons some of the weakest shit. Who remembers on Kino or 5 surviving with that AK-74U for hours, using that thing as a lifeline? That thing would last tens of rounds. I could sit there and have that gun for 10 rounds. It would still be doing a decent job. The weapons here don't. They're bad. I honestly had trouble trying to get the footage for this game because after playing it for so long, I was sick and tired of playing it. And my device ran out of space. But forget about that. I was sick and tired of playing it. It was bad. It was cheesy. It was mediocre. It was poor man's Call of Duty Zombies. And I know there's plenty of people out there telling me, why are you getting so triggered over a mobile game? I am getting a little bit triggered because you slapped the name Call of Duty on this monstrosity. I haven't even gotten through half of the zombie stuff, and I'm planning to make more videos on the rest of the game. The multiplayer and the Battle Royale. And I am not even looking forward to recording any shit for that game. Well, that's it for now. I'm probably going to most likely make another episode on this topic. because there's way too much bad stuff to cover in one video. Well, there is, but I'm tired and I have school tomorrow, so don't bother me. But I would like to know what you think of this entire video. Talk about it in the comments if there are even any commenters, because I'm a fairly new channel. But let me know what you think about my editing skills as well, because I know some people are yelling at me in the comments right now about how big the screen is. There's nothing I can do to
Reloading.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the notification bell just in case you want to see any more of my videos. I'm not going to say become part of the but that is all for this video, and good riddance.